Good morning, everyone. A little delay on the upload there, but we are good. We are up. We are good to go. How's everyone doing today? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I am joined today by the one and only legend, Mixed Reality Man, talking about his Van Goatee, and I believe also a little bit of the Dragon Emperor as well. So today we're gonna be going over the roadmap for that, talking about the project a little more. Mixed Reality Man, are you here with us?
I am. Thanks
Awesome.
for hosting this, MJ. I really appreciate it.
Of course, of course. I love the project. I love your style. You're blending art and technology. Art is something that I wasn't really into too much until I got into NFTs, and I've always been big on tech. So I love the work that you're doing, and so happy to host you.
Yeah, I was not too much into art. I mean, I was always into drawing and stuff like that as a kid, but my drawing skills weren't professional level. Uh, but I've been in tech my entire life. I've been dealing with a computer since the Commodore 64.
Ooh,
My first gaming console was the four-player version of Pong. So uh, the transition of tech and combinations of all the different things that tech is applied to, I came across the ability to apply my tech to art and didn't look back. Really enjoyed the heck out of it.
that's wonderful. That's a really cool story. I love that you have such a rich history with tech, and it seems to have almost grown throughout your career and life, which is really cool. Like just to levels that a lot of people aren't in. I know you do a lot with mixed reality, and that field I feel is just still in its very early stages and growing incredibly. So very
Yeah, I mean,
exciting.
I actually got into mixed reality back in 2011. Was my
Oh my
first time
gosh.
seeing full production level augmented reality, and as soon as I saw it, I understood how it was going to change the world. And that's why my handle is at Mixed Reality Man, and I own the Mixed Reality page on LinkedIn, and uh, because yeah, it is. That's the future of Web 3 and all these things that we're doing is mixed reality. The future of the metaverse isn't virtual worlds, it's the bridging of the real world with the digital world and having that convergence happen in reality. The overlaying of all the digital content to the real world. When you, I mean, you think of movies that we grew up watching, whether that be something like uh, the one with Tom Cruise, uh,
Oh, Minority, not right. Was it
yeah,
Minority
Minority
Report?
Report,
Yeah.
and the interactions of how he's doing, or Tony Stark with the way he's interacting with computers and things like that. That's been my goal from the start, was to bring those types of interactions because I hate typing.
Oh, I love it, and so happy to have you here today. Happy to talk about your project. I don't want to spoil too much. I have my own kind of excitement and questions around it, but I figured we just kind of let you dive in. I've got the white paper open.
Okay.
Um, yeah. So tell us about the future. Tell us about what's going on with all of this.
Well, let's start with the past of the Van Gogh teas and how it started.
Fantastic. Yeah.
And so I was approached for a project that I'm working on for the Human Anatomy Project. For those that are interested, that's the hyphen hap dot org, and that is the technology that is near and dear to my heart. It's the new CT scan technology that I developed, and when I lost my stepmom to cancer, that they couldn't see on a CT scan. That didn't make sense to me. I figured if it's there, they should be able to see it. So I researched the technology. I figured out why they couldn't see it, and I fixed it. And so then I had to take that innovation that I'd created and bring that to the world. And so created a company called Gemini Digital Twin, Gemini DT, and realized that in order to get this technology out, we needed to have studies done to prove the efficacy of what I had created. And so we created a nonprofit called the Human Anatomy Project, along the same lines as the Human Cell Atlas or the Human Genome Project, where the goal is to actually create a database of human scans to where we have millions of scans of the human body. And when you go in, we can use artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms to compare your scan to your previous scans, as well as a database of scans of people that share many elements in common with you, whether that be race and gender, or that be where you're growing up or where you're living now. All those types of things can be added into the database tags so that your scan could be compared to your peers. Uh, and so, of course, standing up a project like that is not easy. But if you go to the HAPS website, you can check out the team that we've put together. We have people with doctorates in physics and scatter particle theory. We have female executive that has worked for Apple and Cisco. Huge people behind this project of the Human Anatomy Project. And so, with that, started looking at different fundraising events and things like that. And while I was working on that project, I was approached for another project that was pretty exciting and had to deal with Chinese artifacts.
Whoa.
And they were interested in making them into NFTs. And so I was given a small bag to explore the NFT community and sales systems. And uh, through my exploration, discovered Zed and got into Zed racing, and started the Van Goatee Original Collection. The Van Goatee Original Collection is my practice runs for a 10,000 piece collection that is donated to the Human Anatomy Project for them to give away to their donors. And these are going to be given away to high level donors. We're talking like $10,000 donation level and higher to receive one of these Van Goatee fantasy worlds. So I figured as long as I was going to do this, I would not really tell everybody about what it was I was doing and what the complete long term goal on everything was, but that anybody that decided to jump on board, I would make sure that it was worth it to them. And so I created the 100-piece collection of the Van Goatee originals that was segmented into five groups of 20 common themes, and then put them out there. And when they didn't sell out on day one, I was like, okay, I need to figure out a burn mechanic. And so I instituted a burn mechanic. And every week I started burning one from each of the five series that still had some unsold. So from that original 100 collection, we ended up down to 77. So there are 77 of originals, which are linked in the white paper for specifically that collection. You've linked it in chat as well. But
Yeah,
those were the Van Goatee originals.
beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. We're scrolling through them right now. Um,
And and so again, I didn't create this process for these. This the process that I used a Google Collab notebook, which is basically a Google server that you're logging into, and the server is running everything on the server side. You're not really doing it on your computer side. But the code was all written for me by other people, and other people use these same collaboration notebooks and put out some artwork. One of the biggest differences for mine is that I turned mine into videos so that you could actually see the process the AI goes through as it steps through anywhere from 65 to sometimes upwards of 300 to 1,000 iterations of trying to get to what it is that I wanted it to have.
it's wonderful.
And so when I find a specific combination of words and values that work well over and over again, I can turn those into a collection. But sometimes that's not the case. Uh, but The Halloween ones, that's another one where I was able to take the uh, the specific set of parameters that I had created and get a consistent result every time. Because there's a lot of stuff that I could do that I've done and I've gotten really, really pretty imagery, but I don't get pretty imagery every time from that combination. The randomness that I add in, sometimes it will make a beautiful one, but sometimes it won't. And so a lot of my time is spent trying to dial in those different uh, uh, parameters to create something that will allow me to create a consistent feel and a consistent look for that collection.
What
Which, if you notice, all but one of those have that same feel, that same
yeah,
consistent look.
right, right. Yeah, that's this one down here in the corner, and just all those different jack-o'-lanterns, whereas the
Yeah,
other ones
that
feel
one
like
that's different. There, I started rather than starting with just text, I actually had a starting image as part of the process.
oh wow. Okay.
So I took a Dino Monk
Nice.
and then added some text to give it a Halloween feel and a Halloween world.
That's very, very cool. So like what does your trial and error process look like? I mean, so for the people that aren't as familiar with the project, just seeing this, it's like, oh, okay, you just went in, boom, you typed in a few things, you generated, you converted that to an NFT, and you're done. But it sounds like there's a pretty intense, trial, almost like a Q quality control process that you also do in reviewing these.
There is. I have folders with hundreds of these that didn't pass my test. But really quickly, let's see. Dropped it in Twitch or in Twitter to you.
Yeah.
If you'll pull up that link, and for anybody that wants to try this themselves, now is your chance. Uh, the what you're going to see in the address bar here. If you grab that, what he's clicked down there, uh, that will take you to the notebook that I've had custom built. That is the Van Goatee tool right there.
Wow.
So you guys now have the Van Goatee tool. Just I'm a big believer of if you know, you know.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Absolutely.
So if you showed up here, you came here today, you just got the keys to the kingdom.
Absolutely
And
incredible.
Tuesday night, I'm going to be doing an educational space with Beluga Bay on how to use this. But
Oh,
so let's just
fantastic.
roll through this really quickly up here at the top
Yeah,
and work our way down through what you're looking at.
absolutely.
So up at the top, you've got a little bit of stuff about who actually built the original versions of these. And what you go do is if you scroll up real quick for me, MJ,
Yep.
up, you'll see licensed under the MIT license up there.
Oh, yep.
And
Uh-huh.
if you click on that, that runs that first segment. And then you click on the next triangle, which is set up installing libraries. And then you click on the next one, which is selection of models to download. Now I've got a lot of different models that these are AI libraries, images that have been tagged with an image and text. So a picture of a dog would say a brown dog
Mm-hmm.
in its pairing, things like that. Um, so there's only two engines out there that you can use for profit art, and one is Faces HQ, and the other is S Flickr. I use S Flickr because I don't like faces showing up in every single image that I try and make.
Yeah, sure.
But so it takes about 5 minutes to download the image library. Once that's done, then you do the loading libraries and definitions. It'll run that. Then you get down to the magic part, the title, the parameters section. So this is where I add in an image, a target image, a starting image. I set what size I want the final imagery to be. I put in what are my prompts. Like I think in that one, I have two prompts on one line, uh, black hole and a dragon eye or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you see the little symbol they're separated by the little pipe,
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
up and down pipe. So that allows me to put in separate inputs at the same time. And then
Nice.
I can even add weighting percentages to each of those. So if I want it like 80% dragon's eye, but like 20% black hole,
Yeah.
I can do that.
Okay. Nice.
Or if I wanted to do a third prompt in there and add cosmic as another word, another flavor word. I mean, and that's really what you got to think of is none of these are literal unless the AI says they are. And you never know what you're going to get out.
How
But
would you?
then you have down at the bottom, you have seed -1. So that's a random seed. So every time I run this, if that's set to -1, it's going to use a completely different 16 to 24 digit number in that location as
Mhm.
part of the inputs. But if I put the same number in there every time, then that won't be randomized. So I have the ability to do a lot of stuff there. And then, of course, max iterations. That's how many times do I want the AI to step through what it's doing?
So with these like these parameters that you have in here, how long would it take to process and create one image?
Not very long at all.
Okay.
So, like I said, it takes about 5 minutes to get the engine up and running with the downloads on the server.
Yeah.
Because remember, all this is going on a Google Collab server, not on your actual computer.
Mhm. That's
And
nice
so,
too. If you don't have a crazy setup, like this is something that's still very approachable.
yeah, you don't have to have a major graphics card or a major computer. You can actually do this on your cell phone
No
through that
way.
link
Wow,
because it's
that's
all being
wild.
done on the Google server. Now, the one other thing is the display frequency.
Sure.
That's
Yep.
how often do I want it to pop up a progress image for me?
Oh, nice. Okay.
MJ, I've lost audio on you.
Oh, can you still hear me?
Yeah, yeah, there you are.
Okay.
Okay,
Good deal.
but yeah, so that display frequency, that's how often do I want a progress image? How often do I want to see something going on? And
That's
so
crazy.
yeah, so once we've gone through each one of these steps, and believe me, if you go out there right now, and this process is VQGAN plus clip, CLIP. It's up at the top of the notebook. It says how to use VQGAN plus clip. And if you go and you look out there and you search, you're not going to find this version of the collaboration notebook, of a collab notebook. This one was specifically built with Frankensteining together different things that I wanted. And so this is set up for ease of use for somebody that doesn't know anything to be able to do this and just click each one of these boxes on the left to say, yeah, run this section, run this section, run this section.
What
So
keep
have
going,
is
keep
your
going. I
image
have a
library
question after the
downloaded
fact.
yet?
No, I didn't go through it. Should we do it? Let's do it.
Let's do it. I mean, I'd love to walk you through all the way. So start at the very top and click each one of those plays.
All right, so set up installing libraries done. Or sorry, it's loading still. It's loading. One question I had while we wait for this to load. What how do you do the weighting of
Okay, so
the
we'll,
different
we'll we'll
traits?
do that when we get down to the parameters. I'll show you the weighting.
Okay, awesome, awesome. All right, so I see
All
right
right.
here
So
it's installing Python libraries for AI. So it's downloading clip now, installing Python libraries. It's working.
yep, next it'll do installing the transformers libraries, taming models, managing metadata, FFmpeg for creating videos,
There we
and then
go.
it'll
We're on.
say installation finished. But you can click on ahead
Oh, okay.
and click selection of models to download, and you'll see that it gets this little like I'm not actually doing it yet, but I'm next in line kind of look to
Yep.
its circle there. And
Awesome.
don't forget loading libraries and definitions. It's a little harder to notice when you're just
Oh yeah,
scrolling through, but
there isn't as much there, but yeah, we'll queue that one up as well. I like that you can queue these up ahead of time. That's really nice.
yep.
So when
And
I
then
go ahead.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, so when I come back here, let's say, we run through this demo right now. I come back later and um, I want to run this again. Do I have to reinstall all of these?
Yes.
Hit the plus every time. Okay, okay. Just wanted to confirm that for people that
Yeah.
may be doing this at home.
So now, if you're gone for like a minute
Yeah.
and you come back, it's probably still going to be running in the
Okay.
background because this is a Google Collab server that's actually running all this stuff, not your computer. But if you're gone for too long, when you come back, you'll have to reconnect and you'll have to re-download all these files.
Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. All right, so we are currently downloading. So I assume because S Flickr is what's checked, that's the one we're downloading right now, as
Right.
far as models. Okay.
Yeah, and that like I said, that takes about 5 minutes to download that model library.
Okay. Oh yeah,
And
time
there's no
left just
point
under four
in
minutes.
checking all these other ones because it's not going to stay resident on your server that you're borrowing.
Got it.
And so, yeah, checking all the models is going to just spend a whole bunch of time downloading, and you're not going to use them because you're only using one model at a time. And if
In
you're wanting to do for profit work, you can only use those two models, anyways.
Gotcha, gotcha. And so here, this is where you would select the model from the drop down, and that's already set to S Flickr. So really, I mean, it's all of the pieces are
Yeah.
in place. You're just hitting, yep, check, check,
Yeah. I
check.
mean, I've spent a lot of time getting this streamlined delivery system done.
Beautiful. How long has all of this taken you so far?
Uh,
Just to
about
build this
three
back end
months
out. Wow.
about 3 months of working with people. I mean, and this is the latest version of the engine. This isn't even what I used to create the VGO
Wow.
or the Halloween.
So what like what kind of changes have you made to the engine, and are there any future changes that you're looking to implement or current things that are like, hey, I wish
There
this
are,
acted like that? Are you willing to talk about those yet? Or are those still kind of
yeah, no, because like I said, because I didn't write any of this. I just have other people that make the tweaks and changes that I need,
Mhm.
and other people that did the original work. So I don't feel like I need to keep this a secret. I need to share this to everyone. So
That's beautiful. Thank you for doing that.
and art isn't my primary goal in life. When we get to the Dragon Emperor stuff, we'll be getting a lot more into where I'm going to be. uh, but just one of the benefits of being a VG supporter is you're getting access to this.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
so
Love it.
so we're going to look really quickly here, and let's look at this implementation tools area
Sure.
and the parameters. And so um, right now it's got Dragon Eye and something else in there.
Yep. Um
So the way you would do, so let's just clear all that out,
okay. I'm excited.
and let's say uh, Neon World, and then give me a colon and 20,
Oh,
and
okay.
then give me the pipe symbol, and then something like butterfly, the colon, the rest of the 100.
Wow. Nice.
And so I can't see your
So yeah,
typing
I've
very
got the
well. Let me.
neon space world :20 pipe
Yep.
butterfly :80. I just got a little warning at the bottom. You are connected to a GPU runtime but not utilizing the GPU. Should I? It
Okay,
says
so yeah,
change to
that's because we
standard.
haven't actually started the process yet, and it's just trying to
Gotcha.
say, hey, guess what? Oh, and that's another thing. So I have Google Collab Pro.
Okay.
If you don't have Pro, it will time you out as saying, okay, you've done enough today. You need to let somebody else have a turn.
Sure, sure.
If you pay for Google Collab Pro, they won't ever time limit you like that. But
Gotcha,
yeah, keep
gotcha.
keep working.
All right, so we've got neon world, we've got butterfly, we've got our width at 512, our height at 512. Our models S Flickr, which is from the previous step, which looks like that's done because we're loading libraries and definitions now, which is super
Okay,
exciting.
great.
And that that
Display
just finished.
frequency
Display
20.
frequency is 20. Um,
Empty for the target initial image and target image. Now, real quick, let's discuss that. So, if you
yeah.
look to your left, on the left side there, um, hidden on the left, or not quite hidden, but that little file folder on your left, about halfway down the middle of the
Oh,
screen
here?
on the left hand bar.
Yeah.
If you click that, you're going to get a. Uh, it's going to expand out,
Yep. Yep. I'm seeing that right now. I see
and
clips, sample data, steps, taming transformers, sflicker.ck, pt, and
yeah, so those are
sflicker.yaml.
all the folders that it's created with files already.
Okay.
If you click the to add
Mm-hmm.
files,
Sure.
you'll be able to upload
Oh, very cool.
an image.
Nice. And when I upload,
So
will that
that's how
be
I did the Dino Monk.
gotcha, gotcha. Will that be
So
public
I
to
uploaded
everyone or
that there, and then
just to me?
over on the right where it said initial image, it's case sensitive, but you need to put that's where you would put that in. And so it would use that as the starting number rather than the way all the Van Goghs start with that weird looking
Yeah.
pinkish, purplish. Uh, so it would start with the image instead of starting with that.
Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. What so a few questions I have here. One, if I upload an image, is that going to be public for everyone to see or is that only for my own personal viewing?
This is it's only going to be in your temporary server that you're running right now.
Awesome, because this is connected to my Google account up here on the right. Perfect.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
is there a way to like let's say I have a bunch of different source images I want to use. Like let's say I want a picture of Justin Fields and I want Soldier Field. Is there a way to do like, hey, this is a foreground, this is a background, or would I just say, hey,
No.
here's my
So
images?
not with this engine,
Mm-hmm.
but there are other engines that do layers.
Okay, got it, got it.
And so in this engine, though, you could upload two initial images by separating them with a pipe, like we did in the text input as well.
Okay, awesome.
But
Uh,
so we've got a prompt. You've got some words in there. You've got everything else filled out there. So let's lock in these values and click the play button next to at title parameters.
okay, boom, that was quick.
Right, because all we're doing is locking in variables.
Okay, awesome.
Now, if you do it again, click it again,
Mm-hmm.
it just did the same thing, only with a different random seed because
Gotcha.
you have that -1.
Okay. Okay.
So every
Oh,
time you click that, you're resetting the values in the spot there.
love it.
So now,
I'm
if we
clicking it a
go to the
lot.
next step below that, which is execute,
Mm-hmm.
and you click play on that,
Oh, here we go. This is
what I
wild.
want you to see first is in there, it's going to say using seed.
Oh wow. One five
And the
three seven
using
seven.
seed, that right, that number there is required if you ever want to be able to make this image again.
Understood. Good to know. Good to know. And that looks very, very random. I mean that's what, one,
Yeah,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20 characters long. That's insane.
yeah. So no one's going to ever be able to reproduce this stuff without that.
Yeah. And
And on
that's
all
cool
my
too.
Van Goghs originals, I destroy that seed number. I do not keep it.
Love it. Truly unique then.
Now, now, so you're going to see it as it goes through and it starts popping up these uh, imagery.
I'm so excited.
So this
This
is where most all the notebooks go, and they'll create you your image.
okay.
Now, there's some steps below that that I do that are particular just to my engine.
Okay.
And
Should we
so
wait for the
as
images to go? Oh, restored from
yep,
S
yep,
Flicker. Okay. We're moving. We're moving. Ooh. This is exciting. I feel like I don't know, I feel like I just unlocked some sort of like godlike powers or abilities of like
you
I
did.
just this is
You
incredible. Oh, here we
Yeah,
go.
you're now controlling technology that's some of the most advanced artificial intelligence engines in the world.
And wow. Okay, yep. Here's kind of I love these initial like grayish pictures. I love these
Yeah,
because it's like it's like organically coming together. I think that's so cool. I'm so excited.
right.
So again, we did Neon World and Butterfly. So then will the future images come in below this? Will they replace
Yeah,
this?
no, no, they'll step below it,
Okay, okay,
and
awesome.
this is every 20 frames because that's what we told it.
Got it, got it.
And so we're gonna let this one run through it.
So can I ask some additional questions while this is
Yeah,
processing?
yeah, let's go.
So have you played around with the like the dimensions of these images? Like if I wanted to render something that would be, 4K like dimensions,
This is as
how
big as you're
difficult
gonna
would
go.
that be? Okay, 512 by 512 is as big as okay, got it.
Yeah, and now you can change your aspect ratio, but you want to keep it to nearly the same pixel count or less. So your 512, if you want to change one of those numbers, change the corresponding number so that you stay under the total dimension.
Got it, got it, got it. So 512 is our ceiling.
Yeah, that's beyond that, and you'll start getting memory errors and it'll crash out without completing on you.
Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Okay, so you've already kind of optimized this for us on top of that too.
Yeah, I mean, this is the most optimized version of this engine for what I have been doing.
Sure, sure. The other thing I want to talk about was the display frequency in the max iteration. So I have my max iteration set to 100. My
Right.
display frequency, like if I set that to 1, is that going to like break everything? Should I set that
Nope.
to 50?
No,
Does that
it's going to
matter at
show
all?
you every single frame
Wow.
of those 100 frames that it pumps out. Uh, I have it set at every 20 because that gives me pretty good progress.
Sure, sure. All right. So we've got image 2 up and I want to talk about wow. This is insane. You can kind of see like butterfly, what looks like butterfly wings, lots of neon colors starting to form. So I see right here, eye of 20. I'm assuming that's the 20th iteration. I
Yep,
see
iteration number 20.
loss of 80.313. What does that mean?
So
If
that goes into the tensor flows and the error loss algorithms. And anybody that's really interested in that side of stuff, I
yeah,
can get you into a Discord server with lessons that'll make math people really happy and have a lot of fun.
awesome, awesome, awesome.
But that has to do with, yeah, just the accuracy of transition from target to, or from initial to target.
Okay. And so it looks like that the number at least, and I could be interpreting this totally wrong, but I mean, we started at 92.9431. We're now at 80.313. Is that loss going to decrease as we continue to go through, or is that just a value that's just
Yeah,
there by the process?
no, it'll usually go down by about 0.02.
Okay. Okay, nice. All right, so it looks like we've got possibly the third image. I'm excited. This is like opening up Christmas presents early for me. Whoa. Yeah, you can definitely now see they're a little more pronounced. You're starting to see kind of the background come away from them. This is incredible. This is really, really, really neat. Um, are
And so,
there how many variables would you say is like a max that you would want to put in to this? Like, could I put in like
so
five things? Is that going to be too muddy?
no, but again, you're talking about how much influence you put on each one of those. If you're gonna put in all these different inputs, how much weight are you putting on each thing?
Yeah.
How are you breaking it up? I the one that I made for Beluga Bay the other day. It was 3 sentences long. I didn't put any pipes into it. I didn't break it up in any way.
Okay. Interesting. So if I had like
I made one for Beam Stables that from a
yeah,
quote from his wife that was absolutely beautiful,
wow.
and I threw it was a full paragraph. And again, I threw it in there with no pipes or anything and just let it run, and it came out with beautiful stuff. Absolutely beautiful.
So I could like let's say I had a poem or a verse from a song that I really liked. I could throw that in here.
Yeah, I mean, there is a character length
Okay.
restriction, and I don't remember what the exact is on it, but
That's
how many images are you up to now?
we were through. Oh, I think we're through. Was it through four? So we got one, two, three. Yeah, we've got a fourth now. Awesome. And again, like
Okay.
it's really, I think, yeah, it's like really starting to pop. I'm noticing more depth. I feel like in each one of these that comes out. And just for the people following along at home, we've got 20% Neon World, 80% Butterfly.
And so, as nice as this is looking, this wouldn't have fit the style that I was trying to do.
Sure, right. Yeah. It's because it's just it's different. It's different.
Right. So, if I thought, well, maybe it's just the prompt, I could just go back up, hit that parameter button again, and do the execution again. Now, also, well, if you go up to the top bar there, we have your file,
Yep.
edit, view,
Yep.
runtime, tools, and you go to the runtime
Uh-huh.
and click interrupt execution.
Okay. Oh yeah, I noticed
That
this
will
stopped.
stop it. That's not going to do anything bad. It doesn't reset you or anything like that. That's just like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I kind of like this spot. We're going to stop right there.
Okay. So if I were to hit play again, I would continue to resume from this exact spot.
No,
Okay. Gotcha, gotcha.
that's interrupt execution will stop it. Now, um, let's scroll down a little bit further to where we have the continue with new prompts. So this
Ooh.
is one of the major innovations that I added.
Okay.
And so you can change what your input is here. So again, just like the parameters on the top one, you can separate stuff by pipes, you can weight stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
let's go ahead and say sunrise, a beautiful sunrise, or something like that.
Okay.
All right. Erase target images because we're not putting in the target image there.
Okay.
And put your iterations at 105.
Okay.
And I try and go over the multiple of 20
Okay.
by one or two just to guarantee that I'm going to get the image, the progress image thrown up for me.
Gotcha.
Now, what's going to happen here is it is going to continue on with the collection of files of the single frames, but it's going to do it with a new prompt. So it's going to take that last image that we had,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to start with that as its random seed.
Whoa. Yeah, and we've already got the first one coming up. And if we compare that to what the previous image was, it
Yeah. So
wow.
when it finishes that, you can do it again with that continue with new prompts section. So you remember the dragon video that I showed you?
Yes, yes. That was
This is the
sick.
engine that made that.
Wow.
All right, and so you've got the new part running here.
Yeah.
And so we're going to go past that. Now, this is where it's going to get a little code involved
Okay.
for what I do. Now, here's another one of the secrets that I do. So, in this one below that, you'll see the generate a video with the results
Mm-hmm.
section. Show code.
Got it.
There you'll see minimum frames per second, maximum frames per second, total frames, and equals.
Gotcha.
That's how many seconds long do you want your video of all the frames that it's collected to take?
Okay.
15, 59. 159. How many seconds do you want it to take to run through your entire video?
Wow.
So once you've set that number, I leave the minimum and maximum at 1 and 30. That's my settings for those.
Okay.
But the length equals 90 or 59 or 20.
Sure.
That's where you change that part of it.
Okay. Wow, we got image 2 up.
So once you have that set exactly at the value you want there of the length equals for
Mm-hmm.
the number, the length of your video, you can click that plus symbol for that section, and then you come down to the next one, which is view video in browser. So if you actually want to watch it
Yeah.
from this window, you click that one and it'll make a in browser video for you.
Very cool.
If you're not worried about watching it because you saw every 20th frame
Yeah.
as it was made, then you can just click the download video and it will download it, and it will name it whatever the last prompt you gave it was.
Okay.
And if you do another one, it'll just do a, bracket 1, bracket 2, bracket 3 because they're the same file name.
Nice. I love it. Thank you for taking the time to walk us through this. This is fantastic. I'm definitely gonna be playing with this today.
It's addictive. I'm going to warn you guys of that now.
That's what I'm scared of.
And if you guys make Van Goatee style artwork, I completely encourage and am happy to help you with any troubles you guys have along the way. I would ask that maybe you give a little bit of credit saying you're Van Goatee trained, but not necessary.
I've got an idea. It's totally inspired by your Van Goatee originals, but tying in something that I'm excited about. I've got my words already queued up on my third monitor over here. I'll
Nice.
show them when I'm done, but yeah, I don't wanna spoil it yet. But I will definitely be sharing this. I'm super excited.
Um, Number of iterations. So I have found that when not starting with a target image, 65 can be enough.
Okay.
But that part can really come into play of those transition frames, and you're like, oh, okay, well, I know what my random seed is now, and I ran this last one at 300 iterations, but it was actually only around 120 it got to where I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So then I copy that random seed back up into the seed location. I set the iteration count where I want it and run it again, and I'll get that same image again.
Oh, okay. Nice, nice. I gotcha.
And then I can step to the second transition. So I'll record that and be like, okay, I needed 75 frames of this prompt and I needed 130 frames of this prompt. So, really quickly, if you'll go to the white paper and then to the Dragon Emperor part, I've got the video in there.
Yeah. So I'm on the I think I'm on the
Van
right
Goatee
one.
white paper, go to collabs, and
There
the
we go.
Dragon Emperor white paper's there.
Okay.
And then go to the journey,
Journey.
I believe is the tab that it's on.
I've got.
Um,
Was that under? Is it under the dragon one?
yeah, it's under what is the Dragon's Den.
What is? Okay, yeah. What is the Dragon's Den? Journey. Yep.
Yep. And so this video was created using the new engine, the one that you just saw that
Okay.
I'm showing to you. And the first thing I put in was mysterious forest shrouded in mist or something like that.
We'll
And
fire
so
this
that
up.
creates the first part of it. And then I said cave with a waterfall or something, cave with a stream or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And then a cave full of gold pieces, and then a cave full of spiders, and then a dragon's eye, and then a dragon's egg. And so kept
Wow.
changing those prompts, and you see it transition from one thing to the next.
That's wonderful. That's really creative. That's really cool. And look at that.
So,
Like, yeah.
but you see, they all have the exact same random seed. So as you go through the gold, and then it goes to the spiders, you notice the cave doesn't really change. And then when it
Yeah.
goes to the dragon eye, it still uses those same element areas because that's all from the same random seed. And so the next version of the engine, I'm going to give the ability to change the random seed as well as the input prompts.
Okay. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I feel like we're in kind of like that misty kind of fantastical looking forest, and then you kind of transition into like going into a cave. There's a light. Like the transitions in this are really really smooth. And then the gold starts to come in, and then the bigger pieces of gold um turn into the spiders. We're seeing that right now. Like that's so smooth. That is so well done. Incredibly creative of you. Very, very, very smart of you. And then boom, the openings in the cave turn into a dragon eye. And then the gold starts to appear again. And then that turns and morphs into what looks like to be a dragon's egg.
Yep.
Like this is insane. This is incredible.
And Golden Glow Master, you can do this yourself if you just copy that link. So, but so this is one my gift to everybody that supports Van Goatee is you are now all Van Goatees.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And
That's
that
very
that
kind of
was
you.
my point from the very beginning was that I'm not wanting to be the Van Goghty artist. I am not Van Goghty. Van Goghty is a process. It's an adjective. It's a noun. It's a verb. So let's real quick go back to the white paper now, which is everybody's been given their sneak peek of the engine, and they've got the link, and they've got my contact. If they want to do this, they can reach out to me. They can become a Van Goghty artist, and I will be happy to help you.
So the Van Goatee or the Dragon Emperor?
We'll start with the Van Goghty real quick.
Okay. Yeah. Link in
And
chat.
Yep. So the Van Goghty brand, you know, is something that I'm trying to create, and I want it to basically become the equivalent of the Gucci or the Louis Vuitton or whatever of the digital world, where these are very unique, very sought after uh, digital items.
That's so cool. Where
Now, I discussed, you know, I'm not Van Goghty. Van Goghty is a process, a noun, a verb, a brand, but not a single person. Uh, but in the white paper, you know, I am the person behind this project. So in the white paper, I do give my contact information, my LinkedIn page, if people want to go to that and see that, yeah, I've been a leader in technology for decades. I'm an advisor to NASA. I'm an advisor to the U.S. Air Force. I've been a beta tester for MIT and Google. I've been a guest speaker at MIT. Uh, so I do have some bona fides. And if we go to what is a Van Goghty original, well, there I go in and discuss the collections themselves and the breakdown of them. I give when they were released, uh, and then of course the why. Why was it created? To give a small community of people the opportunity to be part of an exclusive group of people supporting the Human Anatomy Project. Because really, everything I'm doing is to try and help make it so that I can be devoted 24 hours a day to solving cancer.
mm-hmm.
I mean, that's really my goal. I am trying to get my technology that I've shown on stream before of taking CT scan models and turning them into CT scan data, turning it into 3D models that I can filter and render out data sets from inside of that data with a level of clarity that the human eye can't do on its own.
So this is really kind of the launch pad, the framework, the starting point for raising money and helping fund and bring awareness to the Human Anatomy Project.
Correct. This is all done so that I don't have to go get a job doing restaurant point of sale systems again in life, and I can work as focus solely on the commitment I have to the Human Anatomy Project and Gemini Digital Twin and their usage of the technology I developed for CT scans.
Awesome.
And so um, I minted the Van Goghty original collection. The first ones I did were actually Ethereum ones, and then I discovered it was like a week later that you could mint Polygon on OpenSea.
Oh, nice. Yeah, thank you
And
for doing that, by the way.
yeah, and so at that point I was like, oh no, I'm going Polygon. This is going to be Polygon, and went there. And then that way I could keep gas as low as possible for the artist and for the collector.
That's very, very
So
kind of you.
sold 77 or gave away or you know traded 77 of the Van Goghty originals out of the 100. 23 of them were burned.
Wow.
And so utility, well, my pieces I felt were beautiful, but there was no long-term value in owning a Van Goghty original other than you owned it. And well, anybody can go to the Van Goghty original page and look at all the different Van Goghty originals. So again, where's the value of owning this one? It's that whole I can right click your PFP. Where's your value?
Hmm.
Kind of. And so I decided, well, I needed to create value for these people that had supported me. And so I came up with a Van Goghty version 2. And I was like, okay, well, let's make have this have a little bit more life to it, a little longer term, and a little more possible value. So that's when I decided to try the making a cube, a 3D cube of a Van Goghty, which I hope Beam doesn't mind, but the very first one ever to have been made was made for him,
Wow.
based off of a phrase that his wife, before she passed, used to say. And so
That's very,
uh,
very, very touching. That's incredible.
the phrase was just beautiful. And she seems to have been an amazing person as well. Uh, so Van Goghty, thank yous. Where are they? There they
Um,
are. Okay, Van Goghty, thank you collection, and my unknown journey. Share this. Copy link. Go to MJ's conversation. Paste that there. And so this is the next phase is these cubes. And so I sent you a link to a cube,
okay. Yep.
and this one is not part of the Van Goghty original collection. This one was made
Wow.
just because Beam has been such an amazing supporter of the Van Goghty work, and a huge collector of the work. And so I made this one uh, for Beam, and each one of the sides of this cube are a different and the cube is movable. It's a fidget spinner.
Yeah, I'm
But
playing with it right now. It's very smooth, by the way. This is
thank you.
beautiful.
Each side of that is a different Van Goghty artwork video that went into that. That's the final image for each one of those videos, and he has all the videos as well
Wow.
that went into making each one of those sides. But so the Van Goghty version 2s is about collecting 6 pieces that I will then put together and create your own cube for you. And so that kind of is my little puzzle quest out there. And I've released 5 of the 6 sides of all of these uh, cubes, and side 6 will be released next Sunday, all at the same time,
Oh, wow.
because the Van Goghty version 2 collection is supposed to be 600 images to make 100 cubes.
Hmm.
But I set aside 10 of those cubes for rewards. And so there's actually 540 Van Goatee version 2 pieces that can be collected, and they're all 00101 would be cube number one, side number one. 00102 would be cube number one, side number two.
Gotcha.
And the first 10 people to collect, or sorry, the first 8 people to collect an entire cube will get to have one of these done. One of these partnership between me and the person to create a cube for them, and that will be the final 10 of them.
Okay.
Beam gets one of these made. This, like I said, this one doesn't count as that. Beam has one, and one other person that were able to collect 6 Van Goatee originals before Van Goatee version 2 snapshot was taken. They will get 2 of them, and then the next 8 people to complete a cube will get their own custom cube made as well.
Okay.
And so that's the Van Goatee version 2s. We're also working on wearables right now to have a
Yes.
wearable collection inside Decentraland and inside of the sandbox.
What are those gonna look like? I mean, are those gonna be like are they
So those will be Van Goatee Novus Earth for the first series
okay?
clothing.
Nice.
And so a face mask, a shirt, and pants
I
is
love it.
the first set that we're going for.
Very cool.
And then galleries. So if you click on galleries for the page there, we've I've got now a couple of virtual galleries set up for Van Goatee Originals, Van Goatee version 2s, that you can go and you can look at the art and
Wow.
you can wander around it
Can
in
I
the
fire
gallery.
this
And
up on
those
my
galleries are free for anybody. Anybody can set up their own gallery of their own NFTs.
can I set up is this compatible with Oculus or anything like that?
So I haven't checked it out yet for trying to bring it into my Oculus, but because it's a shareable link to a browser, you should be able to.
This is incredible.
And so if you tap or WASD to move around,
Yeah.
and then if you get in front of one that you're interested in looking at more, you type the E button, and it's going to actually even link you to the OpenSea, and you can go directly to OpenSea and buy it if you want.
Oh, no way. This is incredible.
Yeah, I mean these galleries, this is sick, and like I said, anybody can create their own gallery of their own NFTs or NFTs they own. So if you created it, you can put it in your gallery, or if you own it, you can put it in your gallery.
This is beautiful. This is incredible. Is this free to use? Is there a fee
Yes.
associated with it?
No, there are larger galleries and prettier galleries that you can use,
Sure.
and there are fees for those, but this is a free gallery.
Oh my gosh. Is this for sale? I have no ETH, but I might have to buy this. We're gonna set that aside for later. All right. This is I love this gallery. I'm gonna have some man. We're getting all the fun stuff from you today. Thank you so much.
I am all about sharing. I grew up in foster care and children's homes. I was homeless for 5 years of my life, almost 6. I'm where I am today because other people took a chance on me, had faith in me, or for their own reasons decided to do stuff to help me. And so I can't pay those people back, but I can uh, pay it forward. And that's what I do with
That's
everything I do in life.
that's beautiful. That's wonderful. Thank you so much.
So yeah, this is the version 2 VGV2 gallery for the most part. There are some Van Goatee originals. There's a couple of other pieces for other people's stuff as well that I happen to own that I showcased in here as well. But so that this is galleries.
Mm-hmm.
So next we have collaborations. And this is the if you know you know section that I'm going to tell you right now. Go delist your Van Goatee original before I go into the rest of this conversation. If you haven't delisted, if you've got one for sale, I highly recommend you delist it before we get into the rest of this conversation. Uh, And with that said, let's get into the rest of this conversation.
All
So,
right. You've been warned, people. You've been warned.
so you'll see under collaborations the the Dragon Emperor mint schedule. And again, I talk about giving back to the originals, to the founders, providing value
Mm-hmm.
and rewards for having supported me here in the beginning.
Yeah.
And so we start off right away with the mint schedule. And this is what I want people to see. And that I link right here what the Van Goghty original collections pieces that qualify for this are. But the Dragon Emperor is going to be an empire building game. It's going to have dragon fighting. It's going to have dragon racing. It's going to have dragon breeding. It's going to have empire world building. It is a play to earn game. You will be the immortal dragon emperor that owns the metaverse planet. And with that, you will therefore get a micro fee off of every transaction that occurs on in your world.
Interesting.
And in order the the equivalent of your whitelist or your founder's piece or whatever, it's called a dragon's den. And so a dragon's den is the equivalent of a metaverse world.
Okay.
And so there will be 10,000 of these dragon's dens that are released in a staggered phase system, mint phase system. And so phase one of the minting process, there's going to be 100 minted. Those 100 minted go to the 100 Van Goghty original holders.
Yes.
Now, as I said before, we burned some.
Yeah.
So there's only 77 Van Goghty originals in circulation, which leaves 23 left. Those go to me.
Got it.
Y'all missed out. Y'all could have. Y'all didn't. So
Yeah.
they go back to me. So that's the first 100. The next release, phase two release, is numbers 100 through 300. And again, the first 100 of that mint series goes to Van Goghty original holders, with 77 to the holders and 23 to me. And those ones that come to me will be used for marketing purposes, rewards, giveaways, things like that. That
Sure.
you'll get to give some away on stream, MJ.
Woo.
That's just how we do it. Uh, and then you'll see again in phase, but the 100 others in phase two, they'll be minted at 0.02. No major minting price there. Really, still low fees. And the ones that I sell from that are mine in phase one, I'll be listing at 0.01.
Okay.
I'm all about, if you know, and giving value to early supporters and reward holders. That's just the way I do it. But so here we are in phase two, they're 0.02. And so if I sell out phase two, there's $8,000 based on a $4,000 Ethereum value
Sure.
in the project. Phase three, again, 100 going to the VGO holders. And so even if you're not interested in playing this game, just for having been a Van Goghty original holder, you're getting these at every phase. And you can sell them. Just like with the Van Goghty version 2s. If you didn't want to collect the cube, no problem. You were given a piece of a Van Goghty cube that you get to sell. And
So
so,
I'm going to get a
go ahead.
handful of these. I'm going to get one from each phase, assuming we get through the different phases.
Yeah, you're going to get 6
Okay.
for every Van Goghty original you own.
Wow.
Based on these. Now, and again, it's the price steps up at each phase for the public sale. 0.02, 0.03, 0.04, 0.05 until we get to phase 6, which is the commercial phase, and then it's a 0.1. But my goal here is to get these first 300 to 500 people to be dungeon masters and
Love
creatives similar to me. I am not shilling this project. I'm not pumping this project. I want to get this core foundation of people that have been gaming for 30 years like me, that know, that have played Civilization 1 through 5, that have played Dragon Warrior or Breath of Fire, or that maybe they were World of Warcraft junkies like
Oh
me,
yeah.
or Elder Scrolls Online, or Final Fantasy. You know, I have seen every game, every type of gameplay because I've been there from the start. I've literally been there since Pong. And so when you look into this, what is the Dragon's Den? Well, the Dragon's Den will provide you with your first dragon's egg, your first specialist, and you will be the foundation of your castle. The Dragon's Den will be the beginning location of your empire within your metaverse, an empire that will be built, upgraded, and expanded by your citizens, specialists, and of course your dragons. Owning a dragon's den means you are the immortal dragon emperor of a world you own, an entire metaverse world for you to explore, upgrade, and share with other people. While other people will be able to become citizens in the game and may someday be able to earn rewards for crafting or other activities, you will own the world they play in and will receive a small portion of every transaction as the world's dragon empire.
That's
You will fight,
crazy.
race, and breed dragons, manage your empire's resources, compete with, trade with, and launch other empires. Manage well, and both you and your people will prosper and grow. These worlds will provide opportunities to play and be rewarded for contributing to the empire with in game resources for people around the world to earn playing minigames. Resources will be earned that they will be able to use to craft in game items or to sell in a marketplace. Who knows, maybe someday they will own a dragon to race or lease of their own. In the realm of Pentdrag, there are dragons of many kinds. Some work, some breed, some fight, some race on the ground, some race through the air, and some eventually leave their world to conquer uncharted realms and set up new kingdoms. So that's the kind of world and system that I'm wanting to build. And this is Web3. I can do all of this and eventually even be able to take it to the level of where you're riding on the back of your dragon in the races using VR,
Oh geez.
where you're ringside for the dragon fight. You know, these are all possible. This is the realm I live in and work in. I did medical simulation for 10 years,
Yeah.
you know, using augmented reality and virtual reality and mixed reality. So none of this is impossible. All of this is actually going to be pretty easy to do comparatively. I mean, relatively easy, but uh, easy as far as the structure goes. Uh, and so the play to earn aspect of this is what actually excites me the most.
Okay.
And so I'm the immortal dragon emperor, uh,
Mm-hmm.
but you're just a regular schmo that wants to play the dragon emperor game.
Yeah.
So you sign up and pick the realm that you want to go to, and you are a citizen in that empire. And you can choose your daily energy, what you want to put that towards. I, as the immortal dragon emperor of the world, will put up jobs that I need. So I have 3 farms. So I'm going to put out labor contracts for my 3 farms. And it takes 4 citizens to run a farm before it will harvest. Now, if I have enough NPC citizens, they will actually start the farming job.
Okay.
You come along and you're like, "Ooh, I want to get in on that." You can replace one of my NPC citizens with your real world citizen.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And so your real world citizen will apply your energy and will get rewards prorated based on how much time and effort you put into the completion of harvesting. And
Interesting.
so you can then take those rewards and you can learn how to become a specialist. Maybe you learn how to uh, harvest a specific type of grain. And so you provide bigger resource boosts when you join a project.
So this is like, if I'm understanding this, like wanting to translate it to, games that I'm familiar with, World of Warcraft, Elder Scrolls. This is me going into game and saying, hey, like you have like skills that you can learn. Hey, I want to
Yes.
learn jewel crafting and I'm going to be
Yes.
really good at that. Or I want to learn how to make weapons or smithing, forging, tanning. This is kind of that equivalent within the Dragon Emperor universe within Pendrag.
Correct. You know, one of my biggest complaints about Zed, about Riot Racers, about any of the others, these other games that I've played to earn is if I'm not racing my horse, there's no game.
Hmm.
If I'm not racing my car, there's no game. I want a game to be able to play when I'm not racing.
Yeah.
And I've always loved empire building games that had intricacy and multiple avenues and multiple pathways. When I played World of Warcraft, yeah, I was a crafting specialist. I spent more time fishing than anybody I'd ever met, you know,
Sure.
because those were things that I enjoyed in the game. It
Yeah.
was having this exclusive item that nobody else has. Like, how do you get that? Well, you got to get your fishing up to 50,000, you know.
Right.
But I enjoyed those aspects of it that if my buddies weren't there to raid with or to go in a dungeon with or something, I still had stuff to do. And so to me, that's just a requirement in the game. Now, other people are going to own Dragon's Dens that don't want anything to do with playing a video game. And
Sure.
so we've built in a staking system too, to where you can just stake your Dragon's Den planet and people can compete to become the junior emperor of your planet
Oh, okay. I like that.
and split the proceeds, that Dragon Emperor fee, uh, between you. And basically, it's a manager for your world. And so, while someone may not have had the chance to get into a dragon's den, and can't buy one 5 years from now, they could still take one of the open worlds and compete to try and become and maintain the status of junior emperor. But this is going to change. It will develop, and it doesn't require anything from my Van Goatee original holders. It just is something coming back to them. I have a couple of crypto investors that are really aching to find a game to get into and support, and they may end up buying all the Dragon's Dens that aren't reserved for uh, Van Goatee original holders.
Oh,
But
okay.
even if that happens, all of those mint schedule, all six of those for each Van Goatee original you hold, you would still get to have that.
Does that include the Van Gogh TV2, or is V2 just separate
Nope.
with the cubes? It's just the originals.
Nope. Doesn't count for Halloween, V2, thank yous, none of those. It is only the 77
Okay.
Van Goatee originals, which is why I said delist now before we
S-
have this conversation.
So what? I mean, this is beautiful. I'm getting excited. I'm getting really excited about this. I love that it's affordable. This is incredibly ambitious. So what are we looking at timeline wise? Are you? I mean, how long have you been working on this behind the scenes? Are we talking months, years? Is this going to be a phased
Uh,
rollout?
well, so that's another thing is I want to have a lot of community involvement in the development of this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm personally, because we're talking about Web3.
Mm-hmm.
And when you talk about Web3, you're really restricted to right now about two programming languages, which is Solidity and Rust.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're working with Solidity, then that means you're going to be in the Solano network. Rust gives you some more options. But uh, I don't feel personally that the programming languages and platforms right now are ready for what I want to do.
Okay.
And so this is about a year and a half out.
Okay.
uh we'll probably do minting phases 1, 2, and 3 over the course of that time.
Okay. Okay.
But if you look at the mint schedule and the way it's done after phase 3 is sold out, there's about 32,000 in the project account at
Mm-hmm.
that point. And that is really the point at which it's got capital and momentum
Mm-hmm.
and can move forward. I don't want to move into phase three until we're ready to spend that money. So if the programming language is not available, is not ready at that time, then and the platforms aren't ready, then we won't move forward till it is.
Sure. Right.
So and that's the other thing is by making this as affordable as it is and as low key as it is, people should be able to be patient. It's not like they're spending a half an Ethereum on a project where they've got grounds to be like, hey, where's my money going? When you look at phase three, when we get to phase three, half of the Van Goatees out there at that point are still owned by Van Goatee original holders that got them for free.
Yeah.
So it's people that are going to be cheering me on, but aren't going to feel like they have uh, that they're being taken advantage of or anything like that. It specifically every bit of this was phased and designed so that it's not a quick flip. It's just here you go. You're going to be rewarded for being faithful.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, and if you know, you know. That's always been my attitude. I'm not, with the Van Goatee originals, the only shilling I did was giving shit away. You know, I
And you did. You
didn't
were
go
very
out there
generous
trying
with
to get
that.
people to buy my Van Goatees. I went out there and gave them away and figured, well, if people see them and didn't get one and they wanted one, they'll grab one.
Though, since we've started this, since we started talking about this, the floor, Jason just brought this up, but the floor has been swept on Van Goatee Originals just now alone. It was at 0.05. It's now at 0.2. Incredible.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. D-list now because
Yeah. Wow. That's
I,
exciting.
I
Like,
know
look at
that,
this
and
go.
Beam. Yeah, I mean, Beam has been a huge supporter of the artwork from the beginning.
Yeah, he's
This so that he knows that there's some definite rewards coming down the line for him. I think he's up to something like a dozen or 15
oh
of
my
the Van
gosh.
Goatee originals, which means if he's got 12, he's gonna have 72 worlds that he's
Oh,
the Dragon Emperor of.
he's gonna wow. And also
I mean,
just
that's retirement right there if this goes well.
yeah, that's he's also just another fantastic guy as well. I can't say enough good things about
Oh,
him and my
completely.
interactions with him. Very, very, very genuine. So that's exciting. This is all very exciting. And look at this. We're getting traction. We might have to turn this into an ongoing series here, Darthside.
Completely willing to do it with you. I have about a half an hour before I have to be at a play that a friend of mine is going to be in.
Oh, that's exciting.
So
What
yeah, well, no, he's warned me that it will probably be scarring and that it is absolutely horrible. But
oh,
I support all my friends, so I will go suffer through that instead of watching the Raiders play.
that's a big sacrifice. That's
Yeah, that's how much I love my friends.
that great guy, great guy. So what else? You got about a half hour left. What else can we cover? What else do we want to talk about?
I
You're gonna
mean,
shill
to
my
me
V2 V2.
that's the primary part of this was the other thing that I want to do here. So I mentioned specialists
Yes,
in
yes,
this.
yes.
And so specialists will be things like builders and mages and stuff like that. And so one of the things I want to do is allow you to bring in your NFTs from other projects and use them as specialists. So maybe you got a Central Boss wizard that's not staked.
Mm-hmm.
You could use your
Interesting.
wizard in our game as a
Interesting.
specialist and get bonuses because we've approved as a group. We approved the Central Boss Wizard project
Sure.
as acceptable ones, and that's the beauty of Web 3 is the ability to access these other pieces that exist out there without
So
having to completely program in Centraboss and his whole project to work with ours.
what that's incredible. Like that's going to be so cool and can really just enrich not
Yeah,
only I mean this project but so many others.
full credit definitely to Jay Sink on the cube. He was my 3D modeler specialist that made the template for me. Again,
Nice.
I don't write code or anything like that. I make use of tools that other people build and then share them.
Another absolutely fantastic guy, willing to always lend his incredibly large galaxy brain. Um, yeah, very, very. You surrounded yourself with a great core.
Well, I started off pretty well by meeting this guy MJ Stables,
Oh,
and
jeez.
it's been a pretty fun run ever since. I mean, I literally did come across you very, very early in my NFT journey.
You did. Well, thank you. That's very, very kind of you to say. I appreciate that. That means a lot. I love the underlying mission, human anatomy project. I mean, you just have just quite the resume in the professional world, involved with technology, involved with mixed reality, and now you're just leveraging this into NFT and NFT gaming, and you're scratching all of my like MMO RPG itches right now, and uh, this is incredible. Do you have a Discord yet? Are we still too early for that?
So, I Darside has a uh, uh, Discord server set up, but Van Goatee does not, and the Dragon Emperor does not. I have recently begged and Dork Love Sports to join me in this project as
Another
my
legend,
social media manager,
fantastic.
and it got yeah, I'm excited about it response. So it looks like when we are ready for that, I'll have my social media manager for Dork Love Sports to help me with being my side guy on Twitter Spaces and things like that, and moderator, and depending upon Jay Sink's status on whether he's allowed to moderate for other groups, I'm going to be trying to drag him in. Uh, you are someone I'll be trying to drag into this. Beam, you know, East Coast uh, Sports owns quite a few, or not East Coast Sports.
Oh,
East,
the East Coast Stables.
yeah, owns quite a few Van Gogh pieces as well. Uh, really, I'm trying to create again the core ground group of people that like the idea of this open world uh, metaverse type empire building game with play to earn connotations that could literally create third world economies to it.
That's wonderful. I'm super, 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 super excited. I had privilege of reading over the Dragon Emperor white paper a little early, and then to just have you on to talk about it is super, super exciting.
Does anybody in chat have a question for me? Got to give them a little bit of time since there's a delay of about
Yeah,
40 seconds, I think, or
love
something like that. But
love that delay, and I'm gonna go fire up as soon as we hop off here. I've gotta get going out of town soon, but I'm gonna fire up the
the Van Goatee engine?
Yeah, oh yeah, I got these ideas. I need to get them out of my head and into
Yeah,
the
welcome
engine.
to my past few months.
I can't imagine, man. I can't
All right.
imagine.
Well, thank you for your time. Thanks for hosting this for me. I
No
look
problem.
forward to our next one whenever that is.
Yeah,
And
let's do it. I'm excited.
all
I'm
right.
very excited, man. Let's definitely keep in touch about this. I appreciate you coming on today. Thank you, and let's go with the Dragon Emperor. Thank you everyone for tuning in. This has been a blast, and wherever you are in the